Okay, let's first set up a visualization. So order date, right, and we'll change that to month. Okay, so it's just the 12 months. Okay, and then we have suppose we want sales. Okay, but we want the user to be able to select between sales and profit percentage. So right now, if you bring in, so you get, if you bring in the other two measures, you get 3 separate visualizations. Okay, sometimes, if you're going to use these charts in a dashboard, okay, dashboard is going to have limited real estate there. So you won't be able to fit in all the 3, and you want just that one little space, but give the option to the user to select whichever one that they want to plot. Okay, so we can do that using create parameter, right, measure to plot, and we're going to have to set up a list, and where we list the options for the users. Okay, so right now the parameter data type is set to float. Float means floating point number. It's a decimal number, right? So here are the possible values that you can select from: float, integer, string, boolean, or date and time. So this is going to be string because these are names of measures, right? So you have to change that to string, and then we can set sales, profit percentage, and shipping cost. Okay. Now, if you want for some reason the display to be something else, okay, so then you can do that. So if, like if the values are 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that you want to capture, but they want, users are familiar with the names, so something like that. But here, the value is exactly same as what is displayed. Okay, so click OK. Now at this point, we have the measure to plot parameter created. So the parameter control is available. So the second step is to make it visible, right? So we make it visible. So now if you click the down arrow, you see the 4 possibilities. They are all here, but when you select something, nothing is going to happen because we have not connected it to anything yet, right? So what we have to do is to create a calculated field now. Okay, and then say plot measure. Which measure to plot? Now you have to set up an if or case statement, if then else or case statement, which will capture the user input and then connect it, map it to a particular measure name, right? So we have case, right, and then we want measure to plot. Okay, so measure to plot comes from here. So whatever the value that the user selects here in this pill, that's what the value of this parameter is going to be. Okay, So now we have a bunch of when. Okay. So case measure plot, when that is sales. So you have to be careful not to make typos here. If you make typos, it's going to give you an error, or it may not even tell you an error. It just won't have any. You won't have anything in the visualization. So when the selected measure to plot is sales, then you want sum of sales as the measure, right? And then when it is next one is what? Profit. Then sum of profit. When it is profit percentage, okay, so that's what we have here, right? Profit percentage. Need to make sure that it is exactly typed without any typo. Okay, so then now since these are percentage, we need to do average and then when it is shipping cost, okay, let's make sure that so C is capitalized, so that's good. Then sum of shipping cost, okay, and then we have end. So that's the syntax of case statement. So case, and then it can be a measure, it can be a parameter. So parameter, whatever the parameter may be, and then for whatever the value is in the case, then you have the result. Okay, now this has error somewhere. Okay, so here I think since its profit is already in aggregation, so you don't need average there. It's already aggregated. Okay. So that way, if there is a syntax error, Tableau prompts you, and it gives you a red little mark which shows where the error is. So we can zero in at that point and then see what the error is. Okay. And even now, nothing is happening except that now we have connected the user input to a calculated field which has in it the measure to plot. Okay. So now we can remove all of these. Okay. So then the calculated field, so bring that in here. Okay. All right. So we have the whatever measure that we are selecting, so that gets passed on to plot measure, and that plot measure gets plotted. So if we change to percentage, change to shipping cost. Okay, but one problem is that this is not very descriptive. Okay, so we can so the parameter needs to go there. So measure to plot parameter, put that there, then you get shipping cost. Now you can get rid of this by editing axis, removing that. So then that is gone. So you get shipping cost. Now if you change this to sales, then it gets sales. And if you want to rotate label, you can do that. So then measure to plot needs to be hidden. Okay. So now select what you want, and that particular measure will get plotted. Okay. So create a parameter, link it to a calculator, make it visible, link it to a measure, and plot that. Okay. Now let's